All right, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles, elders at Great Millstone, shalom to you, Akim, who are pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right, bringing forth the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai. That testimony, of course, is the spirit of prophecy. Prophecy meaning to say before. All right, and if you're not prophesying, you're not coming in the spirit of the Lord. All right, so quick lesson. All right, I named it beloved children. All right. And this lesson, I just want to kind of reflect on the peaceable words that the Lord has for, his chosen. All right. His people. All right. Starting with the chosen. All right. Words of surety. All right. Especially for the future. Okay. And we're going to need these peaceable words. So, Lord willing, this lesson pretty much kind of convey that and always be a reminder, even though the world is against us, because essentially we are in the world by ourselves, though the Lord, He does dwell with us, and the water Yahbashim Yahushai for leaving a small remnant of men, all right, who, He gave the Spirit to, all right, because no matter where we are, essentially the Lord, somehow He preserves us, okay, and that's why the scriptures say what it said, as far as, Israel not being consumed, okay, which is an extension of the Lord's mercy. It shows you how far His mercy and His love towards Israel reaches. All right. Because now in the world, you so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're in a complete position of disparity on a spiritual level. You know, you may have the material things in the world, but you at, of the brink of the greatest trespass that's ever about to occur here on earth, and it's going to turn for the worse. All right, when you read Daniel 12, all right, also Jeremiah 30 and 7, it goes into Jacob's trouble. All right, and those are real things. All right, these things are culminating. All right, these things are uh, about to become a reality. You know, because there's signs, there's things that's happening. There's divisions among people, civil unrest. There's economic woes. Uh, for the foreseeable future. All right, and it's not going to go in the favor of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, things are going to get extremely hard out here. All right, but all in all, uh, the thing that should drive us is that the love that the Lord has for us. The extended love. All right, and the promise, that He's made. All right, okay, because if it's one thing for sure, the Lord is sure. All right, so without further ado, Slakia. All right, I want to start here, Luke 21 and 25. All right, because it's important that we understand the times. Okay, so the return of Mashiach, all right, which means the chosen or to anoint. All right, because in the process of anointing someone, you're choosing them. All right, and the Lord has chosen Yahweh Shai. All right, okay. So Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. All right. And we seeing that the world is in distress. You got riots, you got uproars, people protesting because of war crimes, people protesting against corporations, people who are being silenced. Okay. People who are being murdered, by very rich people. And, it goes on and on. All right. And so that's the distress of nations. All right. I'm not going into the perplexity yet. I know I'm kind of jumping, so Salaki, but I'll deal with the first line here, right? Which we have been seeing signs in the sun and in the moon and the stars, all right? So that's another, implication of what's going on. So, all right, signs with lunar, solar eclipses, all right? And then you got the distress upon earth, distress of nations, all right, with perplexity, okay? And I want to go into this word perplexity because this is the mindset or the state that people are going to be in. Absolute perplexity.
Strong's G 640. Aparia. Aparia.
Right? And to be perplexed here, because it don't really go all into it. Maybe if we can go into the root word. There we go. Here it is.
Strong's G 639. Apareo.
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 Apareo. So people are going to be apareo. They're going to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, right? Because people are going to be people are going to their resources are going to be taken away. All right, maybe they lose their fortune and they're going to be embarrassed, right? It says to be in doubt, okay, not to know which way to turn. All right, and this is the main thing right here, because when things get bad out here, people are going to be apareo, which means perplexed. All right, and these are the things that's coming upon earth. These are the things that you know we prophesy about all the time. All right, and these are going to be the sorrows that's going to be upon earth. All right, death, famine, destruction due to war, death, death due to plague, pestilence, you name it. These are the things that are supposed to come. Okay, but all right, the Lord is speaking peaceably to His people and letting us know and reminding us. All right, uh, just what He intends for us. All right, here, Amos. Let me see. Let me get this. Okay, yeah, this one, Amos 9 and 8. Then I wanted something else as well. All right, let's lock it. Well, let me read this first then. All right, Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord. So that's His word, right? You can believe it's a promise because His word is above His name. All right, meaning His word. All right, will prevail. All right, regardless. All right, so let's see here. I think it's another one that says He's going to make a full end of the nations. But let me see, Slack. All right, so Salakia, because I think it says, though I make a full end. See what comes up. Oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to get anyway. So Jeremiah 30:7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great. All right, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble." All right, and like I explained earlier, that you Jake's in a state of a very dire state. All right, you're on the brink of essentially being extinct. All right, um, and your main your main enemy is uh essentially bringing the new world order, all right, a new way of living. So the current world as we know it is not going to exist anymore, all right, and that's basically how we interact in the world, and also what we're told to do and what we're told to say, all right, and the laws that they're going to bring are going to be completely different. Okay, so Salakia. So it says, so none that is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Why? Because it's also going to be a policed, a heavily policed state where they're surveilling you 24 hours a day. Everything is going to be a rule, and almost everything is going to be a crime. All right, because they're bringing you into this new world order scheme, which you know the they call it. Uh, well, it's going to be draconian law. All right, it's going to be severe laws. All right, and you're going to have to live by a certain code. All right, and ultimately you're gonna be tracked and traced. Okay, via the instrument they're going to use for this whole uh their whole enterprise, which is the RFID chip. All right, so Salakia, because I want to get to these precepts. So, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, so this is what the Lord is telling us. All right, okay, and these are again the Lord is speaking peaceable unto Israel here, even though he's warning of us, or warning us of a troublesome times to come. Verse 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, all right, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers, right, which are you Israelites, shall no more serve themselves of him. Okay, so the Lord is going to cut us loose from the things that bind us with our oppressor. Okay, all right. That's also what this MOTB system is all about, or the B system, right? It's about separating God's people from, uh, essentially Esau's slaves and his people. All right, okay, because those that take the mark, all right, well, you're going to be marked for the ultimate judgment. All right, and those who don't take that mark, they're going to be um, given salvation. So moving on. All right, so it says, verse 9, it says, but they shall serve the Lord Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. All right. And we believe the Lord will raise up King David in these very last moments. All right. Because why else? The Lord said it, he meant it. All right. Now you be the judge. Right. So Jeremiah 30 and 10, it said, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Sound like the Lord he's got a mission. All right. It sound like this is a mission of him saving his people. And he's letting us know, all right, he's speaking peaceable unto us. Okay. So we don't have to be troubled. The Lord said what? Did it just say fear not? Fear thou not? All right. So we're being commanded not to fear. Okay. All right. Verse 11, for I am with thee, said the Lord Yahweh. All right. Bashem Yahushai, to save thee. Though I make a full end, this is the one I wanted. Though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. Right. So how can everybody be saved out outside of the children of Israel. It looks like the Lord is going to, you know, leave a path of destruction where these Israelites are scattered. All right. It says, "Behold, I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." Okay. And the Lord is setting us, uh, He's setting us in order in front of our enemies' eyes as we speak. Okay. All right. This awakening is of the Lord, regardless of what people are saying. All right. Of course, they won't understand what this thing is truly about because they're on the outside looking in. So this is Baruch chapter 4, verses 14. All right. Okay. Remember, the Lord is speaking sweetly, peaceably unto us. And there's something to regard. All right. There's something to always meditate upon, you know, and the language the Lord is using, right? It's very straightforward. All right. It's very endearing. All right. So, verse 14, let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them. All right. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. All right. Okay. And so you can pretty much say, this, I mean, to qualify it, it happened historically. It happened in many of our captivities. But ones to point out, all right, of course, the Roman captivity. Okay, okay, and you can't mention the ancient Roman Empire without mentioning its successor, which is America. All right, Western civilization. All right, so it happened with the Romans, and then it happened with the conquistadors. Okay, all right, and but that's consistent with prophecy. All right, or the curses, which are prophecies. Okay, but Salaki said, "Let them that dwell." Oh, Salaki, verse 15. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. All right, you know, give me one captivity where this ain't happened. All right. It says, "These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters." All right. So, but what can I help you? All right. And this is very extensive in our history. All right. Being carried away into captivity. That's one thing that's prevalent with the children of Israel. And the Bible does depict the Israelites in captivity in the last days and scattered and lost. All right. So you got to peep the language. You got to examine what it's saying. All right. But what can I help you? All right. So what can I do to help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. See, it was the Lord that brought it upon us, of course, because of the transgression. But the Lord said he was going to what? Deliver us from our enemies. And it's clear who our enemies are. You know, um, a lot of people don't fail to realize that is deeper than the average person around you. And a lot of people don't like to think that there's a remnant of Edomites in the world who are, you know, essentially driving the world to shit, and that's true. Is They know they Edomites. They know that we're Israelites. And when you look at our condition, it's systematic, you know, and that right there just lets you know alone by itself, our oppression being systematic shows you that we're the children of Israel. And the scriptures tell you that, you know. All right, Lamentations. Let me see, it's like 1 and 5. Right. It says Lamentations 1 and 4, the ways of Zion do mourn because none come to her solemn feast. All right. Why? Because basically it tells you time again, right? It says what? Lamentation 1 and 3. It didn't just happen during the Babylonians, all right, where the tribe of Judah was taken up out of the land, right? And then it just didn't happen um once for the northern kingdom, all right, when they were taken up by the Assyrians out of the land. All right. This is happened in different ages throughout the history of the Israelites. And where are they in the future? In the same situation, the same predicament, right? We will remember ourselves in the land of our captivity. Okay. It says Judah is going, Lamentation 1 and 3. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. See? So when we was in a difficult situation or in a bad situation, they all right, took us in our most vulnerable state. All right. So it says, the ways of Zion do mourn because none come to the solemn feasts. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Okay. Right. And that's a pain that's a hurt and a pain that none of these nations have really witnessed. Okay. You have these nations for the most part, they live among their own people, they dwell among their own people, they have their own homelands, their respective homelands, right? Except for us, we're the ones, all right, the daughter of Israel, who are under the enemy's rule, right? We have to abide by the enemy's rule, all right. And you find out that we're not even citizens, we can't even be citizens, all right, in this corporation called America, all right, because of laws and regulations that they have made. Okay, they meaning the so-called white man. So like moving on, it says it says her virgins are afflicted and she is in bitterness. All right. Oh, that's what I wanted. So Ecclesiastes. All right. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. It says that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. Right. So there's nothing new under the sun, basically, and that's what it's going into. And nothing new. What happened in the past is happening in our future. All right. And that's just somewhat of a clue. Check this out. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 45 says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. All right. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Right. So those curses pursued us, they followed us. Okay. All right. And that's why we can look back at our situation and look in our history and we can see these treacherous bitterness and those all that hurt, all that pain. Okay. And that's what the Lord, that's the question he's asking right here, right? But what can I help you? You know, this is back in Baruch, all right, chapter 4, verses 17. He says, but what can I help you? Right? Okay. And another precept says that um it's in Isaiah. Here, let me get it right quick. Isaiah 1. I know I'm doing some jumping. And then I'm gonna have to close out because I am getting tired. So Isaiah um oh yeah, 1. Okay. Because we went through that bitter captivity, you know. No other nation in the world can say they have went through something so uh so devastating. All right. All right. So Isaiah 1, all right. And I kind of want to jump straight to the point with this one. Um is it Isaiah? Yep, Isaiah 1 and 6. It says from the soul. Oh, well, 5. It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? All right. Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. Right. And this is speaking to our condition. All right. Symbolic for our condition. It says, they have not been closed. Right. Right. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is what? That great city is America, which is AKA Babylon. All right. It says they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. The Israelites are the only one that went through such trauma, and we were never healed, and no one ever came to heal us and to see, you know, the effect. They study us, but they don't study us to make us better. They study us to destroy us even more. Because remember, you know, it's a joy. It's a joy to these nations to see us in the condition that we're in. It's a joy. They when they lock us up, when they give us 100 years for whatever law we break, you know, uh, I'll say whatever law we were socially engineered to break. You know, when they give Jake all those years, man, it gives them a thrill to see a life lost, to see a life go into complete and utter darkness. And yeah, man, they rejoice. Okay, we can't forget that. Okay. So but for the most part we brought it upon ourselves. But the Lord put us there and He gonna save us out of it. So 7, all right, because no one has ever, you know, tried to heal us. Okay. Verse 7, it says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. And this is a perpetual thing until the Lord puts us back in that land, which he says over and over again when he speaks peaceably unto us. All right. Okay. So the nation of Israel, their land is occupied and is being devoured before their presence. Okay. This is not just applicable to the past. You have to apply it to the future. All right, because those curses followed the Israelites, and they were never free from the curse. They were never free from the curse. All right, until the Lord saves us. All right. Now you had things that happened. All right, that progressed us. You know, towards our redemption. Okay, but we have yet to, see those things be manifest as far as the salvation, being saved and put in our own land. That land is still occupied by strangers. All right, by heathen. Okay. So let's see here. Um, okay, now I can get in the precepts that I got. All right. So Isaiah 40:1, comfort ye, my people, saith your God, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem. All right. And cry unto her. All right, that her warfare is accomplished. All right. What warfare? The warfare that we have to deal with throughout all the ages. Okay. All right. That warfare. All right. It says, cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. All right. How is our iniquity pardoned? Of course, through Yahushua's blood. All right. For she hath received of the Lord's Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. That's Israel, right? That's why we went into captivity, and that's why it's such a phenomenon. All right. Okay. And it'll always be known in history. Okay. It's probably the one of the biggest, most known travesties that happened. All right. So voice of him, all right, that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord. Right. So it's making hint to John, all right, who's Elijah. Okay. All right. It's making hint to him. All right. Because he was in the wilderness when you read Matthew, I believe it's the fourth chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Or the third. Yeah. I believe it might be the third chapter. So like in Matthew 3. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. And that's what he did, right? Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. And he did that through what baptizing Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, essentially, uh, we had redemption towards God and justification through the Spirit with Yahweh Bashar Shai. Okay. So moving on, it says, every valley shall be exalted. All right. Now, valley represents a lowland, and this is dealing with the people. And every mountain and hill shall be made low. Okay. So the mountain represents the governments, those that are in high stature. The valley of the people, the valley of the dry bones. Remember that, Ezekiel 37, and that represents Israel. All right. The lowly, the oppressed, the slave, and every mountain, right? Mountain is the summit, those who are at the top, and hill, those are the nations, right? Shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough plain places. All right. So the Lord is going to flip the script. All right. It says, in the glory of the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. All right. For the mouth of the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. Okay. All right. So be mindful. Take note of that. Okay. All right. So, and the Lord is working. He's going to work a work. All right. And that work, man, is going to be the greatest event in all world history. It's going to shake up the world, literally. Okay. And we're going to be on his good side, right? We're going to be favored because we were so hated in the world. All right. It says a voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withered, the flower faded, because the spirit of the Lord Yahweh bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. All right. Let's see here. The grass withered, um, the flower faded, but the word of our God shall stand forever. Beautiful. All right. And that's the point and conclusion of all of this, man. You know, in times where people are going to be perplexed, and vexed and cold hearted towards the next. It's like it ain't really mean to rhyme, but when people are in that phase, all right, we're gonna be thinking about the peaceable words, all right, okay, that our bridegroom has said for us, okay, all right, and we're gonna be taken care of again, all right. We're gonna have a shelter. We're gonna have a protector, all right. Because right now, of course, we're alone in the world, and these nations have been doing whatever the hell they want with us. Hell, right now we're not even citizens in this Western civilization. According to their laws. You know, which makes sense because we belong unto the Lord. All right, but the word of our God shall stand forever. O Zion, that bringeth good tidings. Get thee up into the high mountain, O Jerusalem, that bringeth good tidings. All right, lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up. Be not afraid. Okay, and that's the spirit we're supposed to be in. Okay, lifting up our voice, being not being afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your God. And at some point, we are. All right. Okay. I mean, essentially, that's what we're doing now through the ministry. But all right, when he show up, all right, the faithful are gonna usher him in. All right. Behold, the Lord Yahweh power will come with strong hand, with strong hand, right? And his arm shall rule for him. All right, which is his strength. Okay. Behold, because he's an all powerful, almighty God. All right. He's gonna be uh like what the world calls Superman, but he's gonna be um 1,000 times more magnificent than that. All right, more laid out than that, more scarier than that. All right, he says his reward is with him. All right, because he's bringing crowns too. Okay, all right, and he's going to deputize the elect 144,000 essentially. Right, he's going to deputize them, and they're going they're going to carry out the law throughout the whole world. All right, it says, in his work before him, he shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arms and carry them in his bosom. All right, that's us going to be put beamed up in those chariots, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Wow. You see? So even the wives, the children are going to be taken care of. All right. They're going to be, so we're going to go from the state of being left in the world alone to our captain, our savior coming in like a knight in shining armor, who is going to uh who's going to pretty much uh like what a hero does, save. All right, and we're going to finally not feel forsaken anymore. All right, I couldn't find a word, so it's like, yeah, I know I'm doing a lot of talking. All right, so let me see. All right, so it says, who had measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in the balance? Who hath directed the spirit of the Lord Yahweh, or being his counselor, hath taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and shewed to him the way of understanding? Right, is him himself. Okay. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, And he's going to show us that when he show up, that these nations ain't shit compared to his power. It says, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Man, it says Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. Man, all nations before him are as nothing. And he's going to show them when he show up and show out. It says, and they are counted to him less than nothing, vanity. To whom then will ye liken God? Or what likeness will ye compare unto him? Man, right? And it's going to go into an idol. You can't compare him to anything, right? You can't compare him to anything. So it's like Psalms 85 and 8. Psalms 85 and 8. It says, I'm going to start with Salakia. 85 and 1. It says, thou hast been favorable unto thy land. Thou hast brought back the captivity of Jacob. All right. And he done that many a times. And he's going to do it for the final time. All right. All right. It says, thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. Thou hast covered all their sin. Selah. All right. And that's the Wadi Halabashmi Shai. The Wadi Shai. All right. Thou hast taken away all thy wrath. Thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. Right. Okay. Because we were always at the end of that wrath. Okay. No one else really. All right. We were always the at the end of that wrath. Of course, because we went off. But the Lord is going to reverse that. And he's going to make the crooked straight, right? Which, in that sense, we the crooked, but he's going to make us a straight. He's going to make us straight again, right? Thou hast taken away all thy wrath. Thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. Turn us, O God of our salvation, and cause thine anger toward us to cease. Eventually, again, these are the peaceable words. Eventually, he will turn that, and he is turning his wrath against us. I mean, away from us. All right. Okay. And that wrath is going to go unto the heathen. All right. So Slaki, it says, wilt thou be angry with us forever? Wilt thou, Slaki, Slaki, wilt thou draw out thine anger to all generations? Wilt thou not even revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? Do us thy mercy, O Lord Yahweh, and grant us thy salvation. All right. I will hear what God the Lord will speak. Okay. For he will speak peace unto his people and to his saints, but let them not turn again to folly. Okay. And that's why we watch and we pray. Okay. And ultimately, the Lord is the author and finisher of our faith. All right. So, it's predetermined. Right. Lord willing, we be part of that number, and we pray. All right. To stay in his grace. So his good graces. So surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Okay. All right. And that's beautiful because those that preserve the way, all right, um, essentially you preserve the way, you preserve that glory. Okay. Mercy and truth are met together, righteousness and peace have kissed each other. All right. And think of us as the bride. and the bridegroom. It says, truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Yea, the Lord Yahweh shall give that which is good, and our land shall yield her increase. Righteousness shall go before him, and shall set us in the way of his steps. And that's going to be permanently. All right. According to Jeremiah 31, I think in 30, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So Psalms 119. Let me see something. 45 minutes. Psalms 119 and 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste. Yea, sweeter than honey to beat to my mouth. And that this is sweet, right? This is sweet. The Lord speaking peaceably, um, considering all, the evil things that we, had to endure. All right. The Lord is now speaking sweet. All right. Sweetly. Okay. Through thy precepts, I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and thy light and a light unto my path. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments, right? And when we entered into this truth, we have sworn, all right? I am afflicted very much, quicken me, right? O Lord, according unto thy word, all right? And yes, we do need the Lord. We do need our life source is the spirit. All right, I'll say it like that. Except I beseech thee the free will offerings of my mouth. Look at that. The free will offerings of my mouth. O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. All right, because your when you speak, it's a sacrifice. Yeah, that's why I like that. I go that this can go with Ecclesiastes 5:5 and 1. 109 it says, my soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. All right. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. Right. And Esau is about to lay the ultimate snare, which is the MOTB. All right. But we're going to remember his precepts, Lord willing. All right. It says the wicked have laid, it's like thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. That's beautiful. I have inclined mine heart to perform thy statutes even unto the end. Beautiful. All right. Because we know those that endure unto the end shall be saved. All right. I hate vain thoughts. That's true. By thy law do I love. But thy law do I love. Excuse me. Thou art my hiding place and my shield. I hope in thy word. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. All right. Let's see here. Slakia. Ezekiel 3:3. So man, feed your stomach and feel okay. Right. So I believe that's pretty much all I had. All right. Salakia. Psalm 149:4 says, for the Lord Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. That's beautiful. He will beautify the meek with salvation, because the meek shall inherit the earth. All right. In the meek, all right, is the Israelites. Those are the lowly ones. Those are the ones that's going to be reproached for the word, and persecuted for the word. And the ones who didn't shy away from anything in the Bible, all right, and laid it out there openly for everyone to see. And that's not using deceit to gain some type of profit. All right. Verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. All right. And for now, it's these scriptures, okay, to execute, excuse me, vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, because that's going to happen physically. All right. Right now, our sword, the two-edged sword that we have is the Bible, but we're going to get an actual two-edged sword, okay? Because whichever way we sway, we got to take it. We got to take your toupee. All right. Uh, so it says, and two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, because they're going into slavery, believe it or not, to execute upon them the judgment written. Right? Everybody got a problem with that, but we're going to execute the judgment that the Lord has written. And let me tell you, it ain't pretty for you, you heathen. It wasn't pretty for us. How much more it's going to be ugly for you? It wasn't pretty at all for us. And nobody had mercy. Everybody had their way. All right. Even when you go into the ancient, the ancient history, the nations had their way. They had their way with our women. They had their way with our daughters. All right. They treated our old men like shit. They treated the old women like shit. Right. They made fun of us. They laughed. We were embarrassed. Okay. As much as the same. But soon the Lord is going to turn that away. You know. And the Lord's going to heal the hurt. The scriptures talk about that. The hurt of the daughter of Zion. All right. And I might have butchered that, but it's something to the extent of that. But Lord willing, this was edifying. You know, until next time, I'll give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Shabbat, Shem Kodash, double honors to the apostles, elders, Zechariah, Millstone, Shalom to you, Hakim, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity, Shalom.